Yeah, like start talking.
Hello.
Yep, I hear you.
Hey, Kevin. Yeah, sorry, my
Hey,
Bluetooth was not connected, so I had to reconnect that.
yeah, no worries.
So I'm just using one laptop today. It's because my computer room is getting redone. I do it every year.
Oh, I see.
Using one screen. I've not been well for the past 2 weeks, so I will try to keep it short. Will 45 minutes be enough?
Yeah, that's fine. That's more than enough.
Should be good.
Yep. Usually do like 45 minutes up to an hour.
Okay. Yeah, we say 45, but I know it will go to an hour.
Yeah, no, I'm like you. I've been I've been sick the last couple of days. I'm recovering from it.
Right. Yeah, I guess it's the weather because it changes every time just before the peak of summers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been I had like this freaking this soft throat. Like I have a soft throat that won't go away. Like I have like lots of phlegm for some reason. I don't even have a cold, which is weird. I'm not sure what I have, but it's like it's going away slowly, but I have no idea what it is.
Mm-hmm. You're still going for your daily runs.
Yep.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, I think that's the best way to fight it because normally when someone doesn't moves about that much, then they can, experience that for longer than it needs to be.
Yeah.
'Kay, we got a minute. I'm just trying to get my presentations together. Okay, this one's looking good.
Yep.
I tried sharing the same link with a private group, but they were joining as my name. So I told them to register themselves and
Yeah.
then rejoin with their own link.
Yeah. That makes sense. I think the link is different to try to join as
Hmm.
a regular account. Is different.
Yep. Yeah, I shared it like 10 minutes ago, and everyone was joining as Ali Sohail. I said, no, you guys need to leave.
You don't want to have seven ollies in Zoom chat?
Yeah,
No, you don't want that.
I can see a few people in the waiting room.
I think they're already here. It says attendees.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a couple more minutes.
Yes, majority of the people want the easy way. They don't want the registration form. They don't want a ticket. They just want a link so they can join it. I call
Yeah.
them the non-organized people.
Give it a few more minutes.
So races do events every month.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nice. I see someone joined as Ali Sohail.
Oh, I don't know.
Hi, Ali.
Someone was asking if you're gonna share your screen and they don't see your screen. I'm like, I don't think you share it yet. So
Okay. So I don't. Okay, I won't see the attendees in the panel list. I'll see them in the attendees. That's fine.
mm-hmm.
Hi, Pretty. Yes, I will be sharing my screen once we start. Just give us a few minutes. We are making sure most of the people join in so we can start. Yeah, Kevin, let me know when to start.
We start like in 2 minutes, like 12:05.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's 12:05. Good morning, everyone. So I think, well, good afternoon already. So I think, Ali, we can get started.
Yep.
Okay, just bear with me a second. So, hi everyone. Thank you for joining in. My name's Ali. You all probably know me as Cloud Whistler on LinkedIn, and some people who already know me, they know me as Ali. So, thank you for coming in and welcome to this event. Today, I will be sharing a bit about my journey and also sharing some tips, some guidance on how to get started in IT. Also, if you're already in IT, how you can level up. So there are many ways to level up, but I will be sharing some ways that me and my team have been researching, and a lot of people have been getting results with that. Just to confirm, is the session being recorded? Yeah, I can see it being recorded. That's fantastic. Okay, so what I'll do, number one, I'll share my screen and start with some basic introduction. So just bear with me a second. I'm just using one single screen today. So I'll have to do the entire screen. Okay. Yep. So welcome everyone. Like I mentioned, I will be talking about getting started in IT. But before anything, I would like to introduce myself. I've got two presentations, so I will be sharing them on and off. Spare me a second. So, okay, so I'll start with, we will be, sorry, it's a bit jumbled up. Okay, so my name's Ali. I'm not that old. You can say that I'm in the brackets of 25 to 37. And so I'm still young. I've still got many years. I've got a lot of juice in IT. So I started as a kid playing video games like everyone else does, but I come from the days where we had those fancy modems, floppy disks, telephone wires going everywhere in the house just to connect to the internet. And I literally used to copy games on my floppy disk, and I used to take it to school. And when we used to have a computer class in school, everyone used to be playing Tom and Jerry, Snakes Ladders, and all those classic games from back in the days. And so I decided to, because I like tech so much, my cousin works for Google, one of my other cousin works for Bank of America. So I said, you know what? These guys have been pushing me, encouraging me because I used to play games with them, like classic games like Command and Conquer, Nintendo, blah, blah, blah. So we sat down and we were just having a career discussion when we were very young. And my cousin says, "Hey, Ali, you're brilliant in IT. I see you going in IT." Well, when I grew up, things were different, right? I didn't, number one, I didn't know how to get a job in IT. I didn't know, even if I get a job in IT, what kind of work is there. So basically, I had no mentor, I had no guidance. I just had young friends, young cousins, young bloods trying to, say, hey, I want to be a Superman. Hey, I want to run a Porsche car showroom. I want to do this. I want to start a tourism company. I want to have an airplane. And someone is saying, oh, I just want to do farming. I want to do cattle farming, blah, blah, blah. Well, when we are young, we are still developing, we are still thinking, we are in that phase where we would do anything where we think, okay, there is money coming in. Okay, let's just do this. But when you discuss, when you collaborate, when you network with people who are already there, they can give you the guidance, the roadmap, the blueprint. You can go and hit target by target, target by target, or you can say goal by goal. So when I finished college and school, etc., I struggled to get a job, but luckily my college was offering work experience traineeship. So I joined a retail company. It's called Boots. They sell toiletries, pharmaceutical equipments, products. They do perfumes, aftershaves, etc. Medicines. Yeah, they are a pharmacy as well. So I worked with them in the retail section, and that's where I developed a lot of customer service. Then I moved to Pizza Hut. Then I worked in KFC. I moved from retail to hospitality, hospitality to cleaning to office work. And my cousin came from Google, and he was holding his head. He said, Ali, you're brilliant with computers. In school, you used to make chatbots using Python and Linux when you did not even know what Python and Linux is. And there you are working for Pizza Hut and KFC. Why don't you go and get a job in IT support? So say I got the guidance, I got some picture, okay, I should maybe look into the IT side because now I've developed good customer service. So I went online, I went on Indeed and Total Jobs. So I made I shortlisted some companies near my house. So I started applying them. So I was applying 5 jobs every day. So next week I started getting calls, and instantly I got hired by Samsung as a first desk support. So basically, all I was doing is answering phones. Some were requesting for printers not working. Can you reset my password? I'm not able to access this application. My Windows is not working. I'm not able to use my Office 365. And these types of questions. And then I got promoted very soon to application support, where we were supporting Samsung customers with an application for a product. So that's where I learned some database fundamentals, because then I had to collaborate with the developers to run some scripts. Then I had to collaborate with senior network engineers, developers, database, incident management, security, because then there were some tickets where we had to forward it to that department, because level 1 can only do little bit of work, not too much. So this being said, my IT journey started, and I said to myself that, okay, I enjoy networks, I enjoy systems. And when I say systems, that includes Microsoft, Windows, and Linux. So I said, okay, I'm brilliant on the system side. I'm brilliant with the network side. Now what's next? Because we are then now I'm talking that I changed my company. I moved to different companies. So I work with this company called CompuTime Systems. They provide attendance solutions. So, when you have a LAN card, when you go to work and you scan it on the door and you enter the building already clocks you in because scanned your card. So we were working with the automated attendance system providing systems for CompuTimes. Our clients were huge. They were milk factories, uh, warehouses, schools. They were very large organizations. So you can imagine how busy the IT department will be to support because we used to be supplying them with software, hardware, and security ACL equipments for the door access, um, and on the site health and safety things. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot in CompuTime, because when you actually work with a product, you're not just dealing with the software and the hardware, you're actually also working with configurations. So I will speak to a customer. I remember one of my customer working with Arla Dairy Farm in the UK, and she called me and she was very happy with the attendance equipment, because 500 people were able to clock in and clock out on daily basis in the factory. So she wanted to order another equipment. She gave me a call, and I already knew their IP address. I already knew their DNS. I already knew their work group. So I pre-configured their device already. I already had access to the database. I called their IT. I said, hey, I need access to your database because I need to connect your database with this device. So when Macy plugs it in, it's plug and play for her. So when Macy received the device and the badges and everything, it was plug and play for her. And she literally sent me a chocolate box, sent a message to my director that this guy has done a great job and we love your IT support. So this journey started growing on me, and I was seeing results, and I used to get buzzed when a customer says, thank you, Ali, thank you for making my day. And I used to be like, oh my God, this is giving me that dopamine to do even more, to help even more customers. Like I will have one of my other colleague, he literally sit on the desk and he'll manage one customer, one screen at a time. And when the IT team saw me, that yo, Ali's going crazy. I used to have 4 screen, 4 systems on, remoted in, and I've got 4 diaries because at that time I used to write a lot. So I know I've done this configuration with this customer, I've done this configuration with this customer. And what happened was when the IT team saw that, hey, Ali is handling 60 calls in a day with no problem. He's never stressed. He loves working. He takes less break. He even eats lunch on his desk. Right? So they decided to go on holiday. And when they decided to go on holiday, the only people working is me and the developer. And now things start to change. And that's when I start to feel the pressure, the frustrations of the customers, because I'm putting one call down, I'm logging everything in on the system. Before I work on that client, there is another call, there is another call, there is another call. Then from downstairs, my HR manager comes running. Ali, one of our VIP client, their server is down. They're not able to access the equipment. Can you please work on this as first priority and leave everything else? And I said, holy shit, I'm already on 7 priority tickets. And if I leave them, because I'm in the middle of the process, if I leave them, and if I work on that, and if I go back to that, I might miss a configuration because I had the mindset of knowing that, okay, if one thing goes wrong, we can lose money, we can lose customer, I can even lose my job. So I said, okay, that's fine. So I took all the sticky notes. I said, okay, this is for this client, this is for this client, this is for this client, this is for this client. Now my manager who told me that, Ali, this client is a VIP client, so I put it on red. I said, okay, I'm going to leave everything, work on that. So I worked on that immediately. I rang their IT. I said, hey, I need access. They gave me access. Soon I got in, all I had to do was restart the server. I restarted the server. Things are up and running it fine. Their IT could do that as well. So this being said, you get to learn a lot even from IT support, technical support, desktop support. These are not small jobs. These are actually the people who are the soldiers in the field. They taste everything from the downtime to uptime and when things don't work at all, right? So how to get started in IT? So let's go to that topic. I'm going to change this here, and I'm going to enlarge this. To be very honest, I would have been in technical support and help desk for a very long time if I was not networking, if I was not communicating with people who are achieving great results in IT. And I met a lot of brilliant minds, including we have Kevin in here. I've met Kevin as well. I've learned a lot from Kevin, and I'm always learning. I'm actually on one of Kevin's courses as well currently, is because my company currently requires that stack, and they can trust me on that because I'm on the senior side. So they know that, okay, if Ali learns that, Ali can teach his colleagues about that as well, so they can work on that as well. So how is this possible? It wouldn't have been possible if I didn't connect it with a mentor, if I didn't connect it with my senior colleagues, if I didn't connect it with people in my family who are in IT and on senior positions and making very good money and having a very good lifestyle, And that's when I developed a research and development mindset, right? Is because, well, there was one mentor, I won't say any name, but he advised me that, Ali, you should read these three books. And and by the way, they are non-technical books. So the first book is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. I read that book, and then my other mentor was a lady. She's brilliant. She advised me to read Mel Robbins' 5 Second Rule. I read that. I became a big fan of Mel Robbins ultimately, and we DM each other sometime. And then third book, it was Think and Grow Rich. So Think and Grow Rich is not grow rich in making money, but grow rich in like life. Like life has so much to offer. Okay. So literally what the slide says in front of you, it can take 100 years to travel a 2 days journey without a guide. And that was my point, talking about mentorship and connecting with a guide, etc. And at that time, I was struggling. And if I didn't connect with anyone, it would have taken me many years. I probably would have retired working in help desk. But I'm glad that I connected, and I I decided to get my CCNA. I got my CCNA, then I decided to get my MCSA. Or in MCSA, by the way, I did 3 exams, Windows 2016 server, because we used to host a lot of website on Windows. So I did that, and then after that, I did some CompTIA Network Plus. I didn't do the exam. I just did Network Plus because we were also working with Huawei, and Juniper. So that means you need more network fundamentals, not just Cisco. So then I had to do all that as well. I worked with Aviva. I worked with wireless channels, giving a large organization where they can, where 10,000 people can occupy the site at one time. That's where I did all the configuration throughout the building, and the building is massive, by the way. And I'm talking about Walmart this time. I did their Aviva in their head office in the UK, with obviously with the help of my team. And this being said, my interest ultimately grew in the cloud side, because I was already working with the private cloud. So the private cloud is when you have the servers in house and everything, networks, everything in house. So I'm already working in house. So I said, okay, now they are moving applications to the cloud. So why don't I learn cloud as well? And it was a natural progression for me to learn cloud. And because I don't, to be very honest, I will be very honest with you. I did not enjoy the coding side, but mind you, I enjoyed the scripting side. So now programming is different from scripting, right? So with scripts, I know the fundamentals, I know the frameworks, I know, okay, there is a task after a month we need to do every time. So how about I make a script and automate that task for the next month, right? And a lot of people call this AI, artificial intelligence. These things have been going on for a very long time. Automation have been going on for a very long time. Systems reboot after whenever the admins, schedule it. Uh, Updates, installation, these things happen on automated script, right? So these things have been existing for a very long time. But I am so glad that I connected with people who gave me specific and on point advice on how I can elevate and level up my career journey. So then I can help my family, my loved ones, and the people who I surround with can also get the positive energy from that and make a difference in the community. So this being said, let me move to the next slide. Okay, so this slide is very important. Regardless where you are in your IT career, if you're a beginner or if you're already in IT, and if you're not networking in events, if you're not attending local events in your city or next to your city, then you, my friend, you're missing out on a lot of things. We are now in 2025, and I know people who have applied, who are applying jobs after jobs, jobs after jobs. They are not getting any jobs. It's because things have changed. Things have changed. Now what happens when my company is hiring, they will tell all the IT department, all the sales department, hey, we are looking for a software engineer or a desktop support engineer or an IT manager, and we need it. We need someone reliable and we need someone immediately. Do you have any references? And when they get references from in-house, do you think they will be contacting external candidates? No, they will give first priority to the internal references. And that's why people like me, people like you, and a lot of people who think, hey, I've got my AWS, hey, I've got my Azure, hey, I've got this, I've got that. Why am I not getting a job? Is because you're relying on applying for a job and getting a job. It's not as easy it is as it was. Remember when COVID came? Yeah, when COVID came, a lot of people gave up their careers and they started learning about IT. And how many years has it been? It's been a good few years, right? And all those people are now joining IT, right? This being said, the competition, if it was, if this is the bar, and if the competition was here and then it came here, the competition is on the max right now. Now, when a company advertises a job, if there was 50 people applying, now there are more than thousands. And you can imagine how difficult it is for normal people who don't network, who don't attend events, to get a job. And people who don't share their projects or their articles, it's very difficult. It will be very difficult for you to get a job or upgrade. But if you're already in IT, you know how the game works, right? So work on projects, add it to your GitHub, collaborate with other like-minded people, join and be part of a tech community. And here's my QR tag. You can scan this. It's a WhatsApp community invite, I believe. And if it doesn't work, please let me know. I'll share it in the chat as well. Okay. These are some tips. I also share it with my learners. I also share it with my juniors. And I share it with anyone who is on the journey to level up. So make sure your LinkedIn is optimized. Keep your profile current with relevant job skills and experiences. Don't let your LinkedIn profile sit what it was 5 years ago, right? Things change every day. Technology changes every day. So you need to upgrade yourself every day as well. Document your learning, regularly capture and organize your knowledge, share your journey, post about projects and insights on LinkedIn and Medium. I normally use dev.to, and I advise my students and learners to use dev.to. Is because we need to learn how to differentiate ourselves, right? If we do the same things 10,000 people are doing, what's the difference? Those 10,000 are applying for the same job you're applying. How are you different? So we focus on dev.to. Dev.to is dedicated only for IT people, for IT companies, for the IT market, because many times companies use dev.to for solutions, right? Medium, even Colgate, even retailers, even a chicken company, they even write blogs on Medium. I'm not saying Medium is bad, Medium is great, but Medium is open for everyone. Now, dev.to is only for the IT industry. So that's why I say focus on dev.to. And also it has the frameworks to edit your code, put it in layers or scripting or whatever work you're doing. If you're in hacking, or if you're in cybersecurity, or if you're on a database, if you're working on Microsoft PowerShell, then dev.to is the platform to be at. And not just this, dev.to also announces 6,000 vouchers, $7,000 cash giveaway, they throw challenges like big companies will come in, big cloud companies or big tech giants will come in, and they will say, here is a challenge, do this challenge for 2 weeks and we will select the winners, etc. So dev.to is brilliant. This being said, let's move on to, okay, so let's move on to if you're new in IT. So if you're literally brand new in IT, then I would always advise to go with the phase one. My phase one is about network fundamentals. You can go the CompTIA Network Plus route, or you can go the CCNA route. You can go with any of those. So CompTIA Network Plus or CCNA. With CCNA, you will be more hands-on, by the way. You will be able to configure routers, switches, and then obviously if you're going to do CCNA, you also need to know how the server works, because otherwise it's useless. So Network Plus or CCNA, and then you need to learn Microsoft Service. And Kevin provides great training for Microsoft Service, for Microsoft Azure, for Office 365, also for security side. So please do go, make sure you check out. If you're interested in any Microsoft learning, make sure you go check it out. And then after Microsoft servers, you never know what another client is using, right? In a company, you never know what our client is using. Our client might be using Microsoft. Our client might be using Linux. Okay, we got a new client. Now they got 4 Linux servers. Now they got 4 Microsoft servers. And these guys got a different OS, right? So you need to be able to adapt. You need to be able to quickly learn, quickly research, and work on that server, regardless of what server it is. So why not be prepared in advance? So you can outshine and you can differentiate yourself. So learn Microsoft servers, learn Linux servers, CCNA, MCSA, Network Plus. You can go for a very good job. Once you do this, you can go for a very good job. You can go for a technical support engineer. You can go for a desktop support engineer. You can go for a network analyst. You can go for a system admin. You can go for IT engineer specialist. Okay. And then they will train you further more on the systems that they use. And regardless what you learn, and if you don't learn security fundamentals, that's a big flop. Because if your team lead observes that, okay, this guy is good technically, but he's making security mistakes, he's not contacting the customer, making them aware that I am about to remote into your machine. Now that's a security breach. Imagine I ring my IT and I say, hey, this is not working. So next day I'm on my laptop sending an important email to my CEO, and suddenly someone remotes in, takes over my machine, and my machine goes blank. And I'm like, what's going on here? Now that's a security breach. So that's why if your security fundamentals are not strong, you can be in great trouble. So make sure you're also leveling up on the security side. And the great course for security is CompTIA Security Plus. You cannot go wrong with that because they cover a lot of security fundamentals. Okay, mentorship, I've been talking about it. It's very vital, very important. Sometimes, even at this stage, I sometimes have questions, I sometimes have doubts. So I reach out to people who are more higher than me, so I can get exactly what I need to do, not be all over the place, exactly do. If I think this will be an issue after 6 months, what should I do for this? And then I reach my mentor. But imagine if I had the I know better mentality. I know how to do this. Okay, I could do that. People I know, they are in my family as well, by the way. The ones who have the I know better mentality, they have not been leveling up since they got a job. They are moving in the same circles. They're going sideways, but they are not leveling up. Why? Because they have a I know better mentality. I don't need to ask anybody what I do. I don't need no guidance. In a company, and I'm talking about companies who are making money on a regular basis, they are facing losses on a regular basis, then they are having meetings on how to cover their loss, and then next year they do even better. So how do these companies survive? Is by networking, is by guidance, is by collaborating with the IT team, with the sales team, with the finance team. And then when they get together, the decision makers, decide, and they see this is the risk, this is the way we can do it, this is how we should do it. And exactly how you yourself is a company. And if you don't treat yourself as a company, you will be in a major loss, my friend, right? You yourself is a brand, you yourself is someone who can make a difference. But if you just sit and say, okay, I know better, I know what to do, then you will be stuck for many years. So please don't make that mistakes. I know people in my personal life who make these kind of mistakes. So cloud engineering, you cannot skip phase one and jump into cloud engineering because I'm focusing on people who are brand new. Now, if you've been in IT, you know how the system works, you know how a device communicates with another device. You can transition, and you can decide, and you can discuss with your leaders or your coach. But obviously, you're the one who has to decide which path do I like. Do I like the security path? Do I like the cloud path? Do I like the DevOps path? Do I like the ethical hacking path? Do I like the offensive hacking? Do I like the defending hacking? Or do I like the auditing side? Or do I like the compliance side? Or do I like coordinating? Or do I like incident management? Or do I like problem management? So once you decide the area, so what help desk does is it gives you the flavor of what this department does, what that department does. So once you have the flavor of how this technology or this system or that department works, and if you really like it, you can request your TL to allow you to shadow and do some volunteer work. You can see how the cloud team works, you can see how the security team works, and you can see how the DevOps team works, and then you can decide. Once you have decided, um, now you're already in IT. So you've decided you want to go into the cloud, right? Pick one cloud. Don't pick all the clouds because they all have the same similar frameworks. It's just that Azure will have some features AWS won't. AWS will have some features Azure won't. So that's why companies use multi-cloud. And to be very honest, you will not find Azure in startups. Azure is strictly for corporate environments, companies who are there. A lot of startups, they use AWS, and a lot of big companies as well, like Netflix, they use AWS as well. I myself, I'm using AWS on my website when I'm putting my training videos on. I'm using AWS S3 and CloudFront, right? But if you want to start as a cloud engineer, pick one cloud. It can be any cloud, learn the fundamentals of it, learn how the cloud works, etc. Now I'm talking about self-studies, right? Before jumping or signing up or investing in something, do some homework, start learning from free resources. So now you know, okay, this is AWS, this is how the console works. You click there, you click that, and you click this and that, the other. This is just for the mind to understand. Once the mind understands a little bit, and you don't go for the certification, by the way, then you sign up with the training academy. Like we provide cloud and DevOps training, and we provide complete practical. We don't provide no theory because we explain it in a way that theory gets covered within a few minutes. And then when you do hands-on and when you see success and you see the job is done, this is how it's done. So that's how our training is architected. Once you have worked on the AWS side, once you have worked on all services, you have done a few projects, then you go for a certification. Then it makes sense. Then that certification will make you valuable. Whereas I know people who have golden jacket holder, and he's one of my friends as well. I don't want to say his name, and he's struggling to get a job, and he's a golden jacket holder. What he said, I'm gonna go on a study break. I'm gonna get all AWS certifications, and watch, a big company will reach out to me. So he went and got all his AWS certifications. AWS sent him a jacket. They gave him this badge, that badge, and he's been unemployed for the past 2-3 years. Right? And I said, can I see your GitHub? Can I see how many projects you've done? Can you send me a scenario where you work with a client and what was the result? What did the client achieve? What did the company achieve? Can you show me a project like that? And he had no words. I said, obviously, you'll never get a job with these certifications because it holds no value. Anyone can buy an exam dump and go and do AWS or Microsoft exam, but that's you cheating to yourself, right? But if you do it properly, the way it's meant to be done, then it's valuable for you. If you can go in an interview, we can talk about issue, you can talk about impacts, you can talk about priorities and how you resolve the issue by being a team player. Now that's when you're making a difference and you're making a position for yourself. So let's move on to the next slide. So with me, I never say become a cloud architect or become a senior cybersecurity or become the world's best hacker. If you skip phase one, you cannot go anywhere. Phase one is where the life is at. You know how we get plants and we get the pot of it, we put all the soil. If the soil is not good enough, whatever plant you put in, it will die. But if the soil is amazing, it will give fruits, it will give lemons, and with lemons, you can make lemonades. So this being said, phase one is very important. Let me go back to phase one. Phase one, you can make or break, right? But there is no way that you will be disappointed. Yes, if you skip phase one and you think you want to go to cloud, then it's a big issue for you, right? But remember, you have family to feed, you have yourself to feed, you have people to look after. And when you have that, you go step by step. You don't take a jump from phase one to phase six. So get your fundamentals strong. Once your fundamental is strong, trust me, trust me. And when you read a few books, when you do some networking, you don't need anyone like me to tell you that these are the pots because you've already tasted it. You can decide, okay, I know how the development team works. Okay, I know why the database team is always stressed out. Oh, I don't want to work in the database. Why is that team always aggressive? And why is the cloud team always smiling? Why is that team? So, you can decide, you can see for yourself, okay, I like working in this department. These guys come at 9, sometimes they leave at 12 because they get their work done fast enough and they go home. Some people, they don't even come office, they come maybe once a year and they work remotely. They're making good money. One of my director, he comes in a Porsche every day and he's the VP of IT sales. And what is he doing? He's just signing contracts, right? But he's making sure that his team is being effective. They're reporting to the VP, right? And that's how the managers play their role, engineers play their roles. So that's how important phase one is. Phase one is so important. Even an executive engineer, if their fundamentals are not strong and the VP comes, okay, we are opening a new branch in Texas. In Texas, we will require this infrastructure, that infrastructure, blah, 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 and we will need these third-party IT equipment. We will not be able to make decision if our phase one is not strong. Why? Because in phase one, you learn how the device communicates with another device. You will learn when the networks are connected with servers, how do they work? You will learn what services and facilities that server offers. You will learn the workspace side, how the workspace connects, what the issues are, what the security things are. Once your phase one is strong, you can literally go anywhere. And that's why I highlight phase one, the strongest area. Strongest area, guys. Now, DevOps, personally, I don't like DevOps, but because there is so much hype in the market, become a DevOps engineer, earn 200K a year, blah, blah, blah. Hey, you can earn 200K in any IT domain. You just need to be strong in that area. With DevOps, I'm not saying DevOps is bad. DevOps is that kind of job. Some people are on a 24/7 contract. They can be contacted anytime, even if they're sleeping 3 a.m. in the middle of the night. And sometimes things break because things always break in DevOps. Things sometimes do not go as planned. And that's why I like DevOps, but I won't enjoy working for it for the whole month. I'll create some microservices, I'll do my part, I'll let it run, I'll pass it to the DevOps team. You guys need to maintain it. You guys need to make sure you use the AI and the ML to monitor and to give you guys data if something will break maybe in 3 weeks or maybe in a month or maybe next year. So that's what my company is using. AI and ML is for monitoring purpose, for research, for development. It's not to do the work the engineers are doing. Yes, some people take help from AI when they run a script and they say, okay, in this script, I want to add this and that, the other. Well, that script then needs to be tested and it needs to be approved by the developer before you push it. Because one incorrect code, and just to keep in mind, AIs are still in beta version. So if you get a script from AI, you run it in the system, it can break your whole system, right? It can break your whole system. But if it's approved, you can run it. If it's approved, you've run it, then it's good. But anyways, if you want to work on the DevOps side, so basically, what is DevOps? DevOps is supporting the developers. Okay, so when you support, so developers, they make the code, and then you do the CI/CD, continuous development, continuous pipelines. You push it, and then you can automate it, and then you can pull the AI ML tools, so it will connect with your monitoring tool, and then it will tell you, okay, it looks like, so it will start reading the traffic, it will start studying it for a week or two, and then it will give you stats that maybe after a month we are looking for database upgrade, or maybe we are looking for more space in this area, the hard drive might get full, or the network bandwidth is too slow, or vice versa. And then you decide, okay, maybe we need microservices, so customers, so the microservices deploy as many customers join. So if there are more heavy traffic, it expands itself because you've automated the process. And that's what DevOps is. And it's not easy because you have to go back and forth a lot, and it's very good money. And trust me, so I know some IT managers, they make around 180K, they drive very good cars, and they're very happy. They don't want to do anything else, and they're satisfied, and they're making more money than they need, right? And they're saving that money for investments and vice versa, right? There is network automation part. There is a infrastructure engineer, which is the favorite department of mine, is the infrastructure department, because with infrastructure, you're not just focused on one thing, you're focused on a few areas and you collaborate a lot. With DevOps, I would say if you don't like coding, you can skip Python. And if you skip Python, make sure you're good with bash scripting or some kind of scripting, and make sure you're good with Ansible. Okay, and with Python, you need to know the framework. So let's say if Python is being run somewhere in the area, you need to know the framework so you don't damage it, and always take a backup before you do anything. Jenkins is a very good tool you can use in DevOps, and I have trainings for all these. My colleague, who is a lead trainer in cloud and DevOps with over 16 plus years of experience, we have created and designed and architected a course with Google's mindset, is because Google uses a perfect mindset on how the brain learns. Because if I give someone a 2 hour video, 2 hour each video every day, they might watch it for a week when they're excited, but when the excitement is gone, they will stop watching that course, right? The way we have architected it is just like Google: 5 minute video each, 2 minute video each. We talk about what the thing is and how to work on it. So let's say you work on how the AWS works, how to set up your account, then you will get 5 videos on doing 5 projects. Why you use S3? Let's do a project on that. Why you use CloudFront? Let's do a project on that. Why you use EKS? Let's do a project on that. Why have you combined Jenkins and this EC2? Why have you used Terraform? Blah, blah, blah. Let's do a project on that. So that's how our program is architected. And you will love it because it's got interview tips. And of every video, we give you the diagram. We also train you on how to make a technical diagram. And when you explain that technical diagram in the interview, you exactly know how the pipelines work. You exactly know how the ISP server, how the ISP network, which is connected to our company networks, how is that working? How the intranet is the internet which can only be accessed internally by internal company staff employees, right? How the internet works, how the extranet works. If you're working for a school, how the CAMS works, and things like that. So this being said, um, let me see if there is another slide. I don't think there is. So I do provide Red Hat training at Cloud Whistler Academy. And I won't read it out all, but I will just give some pointers. So with my RHCSA training, and I've included some Ansible as well. So somebody can just do this track and get our sysadmin job, right? And with that way, you can branch out. Never think that I'm going to take a 6-year study break. Don't do that. Look, you can do your 9 to 5 help desk and still learn, still study, and level up, have meetings with your one-to-one team leads. If you want to work with the same company. If not, then just make your money, get your experience, keep leveling up, keep studying, and go for the position that you want to go for but with a mentor and with a guide. But anyways, becoming a Red Hat certified administrator and Ansible automation expert with the intensive hands-on training I have architected. You can already see the reviews I have posted recently. The course is 100% practical, and it has exam prep. It has interview prep, and also how to configure web server without getting puzzled, but in an organized and a professional manner. So that's how I've designed the training for it. Once you've done Windows Server or Linux Server, you can go for a Linux system admin route. You can go for a DevOps route. You can go for a cloud route. You can go for a support specialist route. You can go for a security engineer route. And I never said job. You can go on that route so you can upgrade yourself. So there are a few modules. So the first module is fundamentals and command line power. Second one is user permission and process control. The third one is network, remote access, and software. Fourth one is file system and troubleshooting. The fifth one is performance, scheduling, and security. Sixth one is advanced storage solutions. Seventh one is boot process, security, and installation. Then from module 8 onwards, it's all about Ansible automation. Say Ansible playbooks fundamental, Ansible for system administration, Ansible advanced techniques and roles. And finally, we start the exam prep for RHCSA. And let me tell you, none of my students, let me stop the screen share. None of my students have ever failed their RHCSA exam, right? Is because within the first week, I know which student will be the one who will be going for the exam, because consistency tells me everything about a learner. If a learner is consistent, and if there is something ongoing and they're making me aware, hey, Ali, we have a family event, or maybe there's been a bereavement or something's happened, they're making me aware. So I know this guy is genuine. He's serious in his life, and he wants to, do good for his family and for himself. So they make me aware. And none of my students have ever failed in their RSCSA or also RSCE, is because the way I train them with scenario, just how the exam questions are. So how the exam questions come in Red Hat, by the way, the exam cost is $500 if you're in the US, £500 if you're in the UK, or $500 whichever country you're in. Exam is completely 100% practical. It's not like AWS, like you can memorize the question and go and click it in the exam. It's not like that. You will get a scenario like, today you have been tasked to add 4 users, give them these privileges, add them in these groups, and you have to make some secure access files. So only 3 users from this department can access that. So this is one big scenario question, right? And you don't just have to run with big command. You have to make those groups, make the security policies and all that. And that's why Red Hat certification is so valuable. In the market, I'll give you a challenge. Go and find me someone who is RSCE or RSCSA certified and they do not have a job. Go and find me someone on LinkedIn who has a RSCSA and does not have a job. You might find a student who has RSCSA but not a job, is because he does not want a job. He's learning currently. But I guarantee you, you will never ever be able to find someone who is RSCE and does not have a job. You will find many, many people who have golden jacket, all the AWS certifications, and they do not have a job. You will find some crazy people with a lot of GCP certification, with a lot of Azure certification, with a lot of AWS, a lot of Oracle companies we've not even heard, they've got the certifications and they do not have a job. Now, what I'm about to tell you is golden, right? And this is regardless if you've graduated from Harvard or from MIT, or maybe NASA gave you an apprenticeship, or maybe the aerospace department said you will be working on the Air Force side, working with the avionics IT department. It sounds cool, right? Well, let me tell you something. If your mindset, and let me repeat this, if your mindset is not cultivated and is not conditioned and is not trained to adapt to any environment, whatever you're learning will fail. Whatever you're learning will fail. Mindset is so important in IT that you need to be ready to adapt to any changes. You need to be ready to adapt to any new technology. If your TL comes and says, hey, from tomorrow, we're not using Linux, we're not using Microsoft, we are going to use this third-party tool. You need to be ready to adapt. And if you don't have that mindset, my friend, you will be in a very, 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 very long struggle. Yes, you might get there, but it will take you many years, like 20 years, just to get where you can get in 1 year. So that's how important mindset is. And I salute Kevin for providing, coaching and mentorship where he covers on how the mindset should be. And if your coach and your trainer is providing you that mindset training, it's more valuable than an AWS certification. The AWS certification will just say that. The mindset will help you grow, make decisions, be a problem solver, be a volunteer, be someone who's committed, who's loyal, who's sincere, who is a go-getter, right? And I'm not talking about people who, if they want a pizza, they will stay up all night, because I've done that in the past. So this was it from me. And let me share my LinkedIn with you also. You all can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm open to messages, and I'm not very strict that you have to message me on this time or that time. You can message me at any time, and I'll get back to you when I can. But please don't send me a message and say, "Hey, Ali, I want a job." Because those messages, trust me, they always get ignored. You send a message to a hiring manager, "Hey, I want a job." Trust me, they will not even open your message the next time. Maybe when you're like a CCIE, they won't even open your message then. Because remember, um, first impression is the last impression, especially when it comes to someone who doesn't know you. So you have to be very, very careful in these areas. And I was going to show you guys something. I'm just looking for it now. Okay, Zoom chat. Just can someone confirm if I type in chat, will everyone else will have access to it as well?
Yeah, if you see host and panelists, it should be everyone in chat.
Okay. Perfect. Oh yes, I see it. Thank you, Kev. So that's my LinkedIn profile. Please connect with me. I do run project sessions now and then, sometimes with Microsoft, sometimes with Linux. It depends on what I'm working on. But I have some great announcement, and this goes for everyone in the races cyber and people who are coming from different technical communities. What I am doing is I'm partnering up with the UK government, and I'm launching a campaign, and it's called Cloud in Air. So what is Cloud in Air? So basically we will be developing and we will be working on applications that can be sold to different organizations, right? So we will be working on short, small products that we will work. Some products we will open source. Some product we will sell it, try sell it to companies. So basically, with Cloud in Air is a campaign where you can earn some side income. I'm not sure how many of you have heard about 8Lux, but one of my friend is running 8Lux, and he's focusing on the front end development. But we are not focusing on any of that area. We are focusing on products which companies are using. But what we are doing is we are configuring the same product, adding some user-friendly features, and we are integrating Gemini and ChatGPT with it to get better support. So these kind of products we are currently in the pipelines. We also have one of my favorite products. So we are in the pipeline of developing a web browser. Now, remember when I said I don't like coding, but I love to work with developers. Now, when I'm working with the developers and the team, I'm not the only one. Now, whoever is participating in Cloud in Air, they will be allowed to say, okay, if you're good in Python, Mac, if your name is Mac and Mac, if you're good in Python, then you can join the Cloud in Air and you will be given some Python tasks to work on the project. If you're good with Java, you'll be given tasks according to that. If you're good with, so let's say if you are using a Linux server, so if you're good on the Linux server side, we will give you tasks according to that. So let's say if you are using AWS Cloud to host that application, then we will give you some IAM restricted roles and tasks for that area. So this way, Cloud in Air could be something big. It could also be that you can put it in your portfolio. You can speak about it with companies maybe you're applying for, and companies love it when engineers are working on innovative products, because end of the day IT is a business, right? And if you're not thinking in a business mindset, and if you're just thinking, oh, I'm just going to go in and play my game and go come home, then you're good with the first line for a very long time. If you're happy with that, stay there. I got no complaints. But if you got a mindset of growing, elevating, helping others, making a difference for your family, for yourself, then please, please, please reach out to Kevin, reach out to me. There are other providers as well. I can't talk about other providers, but Kevin is someone I can trust. And Kevin's Academy and his people, I've collaborated in the past. I've got results from it. And that's why I can always, refer Kevin for any of these areas because I've tasted it myself and I've got results from it. So yeah, this being said, mindset is everything. Feel free to reach out to me. There are 3 courses I am launching end of this month. Number 1, RSCSA. Number 2, RSCE. Number 3, cloud and DevOps complete end-to-end training with projects, etc. And the other thing which I've already shared is Cloud and Air. Cloud and Air will be huge, and I'm looking forward for that campaign. I have a meeting with the government after 2 weeks where they will decide the funding and everything. Is because we will need some backup, we will need uh, help desk, we will need some project managers. So each project manager will be dedicated for each project, and in that way we can work beautifully and make a difference for the IT world. And that's it from me. I'm happy to take any questions. Let me open the Q&A box. So I can read one question. I'm working in a multinational company. My job involves supporting Microsoft applications. So I'm not sure how to move ahead in career. Should I move towards Microsoft Security Cloud or cloud or DevOps? Pretty. So you have a bit of taste in IT. It doesn't clarify which department you're working in, but it sounds like you're working in support. So if you're working in support, try shadow the department you prefer working in so you can get a taste. If I tell you cloud is great, if I tell you system is great, if I tell you security is great, it won't make a difference. It's you who will be making the decision, right? So if you tell me and you come to me that Ali, I want to work in cloud, then I can give you a specific guidance for that. Or hey Ali, I want to work on security, then I can point you towards that. Or if you come to me, Ali, I'm interested in data science, then I can point you towards that. I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert in these areas, but I can connect you with someone who is an expert in data. I can connect you with someone who's an expert in cybersecurity. Or if you want something which is which I prefer, then you can ask me that way as well. So I can give you guidance like that. But then there is something which always works, which cannot fail, is phase one. You do phase one, get a support job, and then you see, you research the market, what kind of jobs are there in my local town. Okay, if it's cloud, then focus on that. If it's that, then focus on that. But do I enjoy that? Yes, if you enjoy that, go for that. That's what I would say. Look, there are paths, there are blueprints for every area. It's you who will be working on it. So you need to decide, I have a passion in this. I will never get bored in this. Let's go and level up in that area. Then you will, do the work from your heart, not just your mind. Oh, Office 365. Office 365 is great. If you're already in the Microsoft stack, I would say focus on the 365, focus on Intune. Uh, there are more features and things adding up. Like I can't remember that one, but yeah, I would say become more stronger in what you're working. Like if you're working in the 365 area, get certified in 365, do more projects, do some Intune. There are a few more technologies being added in Microsoft. Try them. Try working with the automation Microsoft provides, and in that way you can see some good results. If that is the stack area in your local area companies are using, if they're using Microsoft, then focus all in Microsoft and problem solving.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Office 365. If you Google Office 365 admin, you can get that for free, and then you can learn Intune. You can learn a bunch of tools like Exchange admin, SharePoint admin, OneDrive admin. All that is free for 30 days. All you literally gotta do is just sign up for that, and then you should be good after that. And you could add that experience on your resume. And if you're going more into like, I guess if you sign up for that, you might as well sign up for also a plan for Azure to learn about intro ID, because a lot of these companies are using intro ID now, so you should know about intro ID. That's it for me.
Yep. Any other questions? I have a few minutes. If you don't want to type it in Q&A, you can type it in normal chat. Yeah, I think there aren't any questions. Please stay tuned. From next week, I will be sharing 1 minute tips video from results. So if I get some results from something, I will be putting that in a video and sharing it with you that this is worth trying because I just got a result from it. Yeah, that's it from me, Kevin. Any questions from you, Kevin, or your team? Please let me know.
Yeah, no, should be good. This is recorded, so I have some people that I know that were not able to make it today, so we will have this recorded and replayed. So I'll send that over to them once this is completely recorded, and rendered, I guess. Thank you, Ali, for being here. I really appreciate it as always. I appreciate having you. If you guys don't know anything about me or Ali, I worked with Ali in the past. We actually worked together in the team, so I really appreciate you having here, like just literally being here speaking, because I know you're in a different time zone, so I appreciate that, Ollie.
No worries, Kevin. Thank you for having me, and it's always a pleasure working with you. Soon you and me will also be working on the cloud and air, hopefully with something with the health industry.
It should be
So
fun.
let's see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to that. All right, thank you, everyone. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and thank you again, Ollie.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Bye.